Hello, I'm Sue Shapcott, and today I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, and in this video I'm going to talk about things that you should look for if you either have a strike issue or a direction issue. Okay, so if you are hitting bad golf shots, then they tend to fall into one of those categories. Either you're not striking the ball well, or you're striking the ball well and the direction is off, or worst case scenario, you're not striking it well and the direction's off. But either way, then, it's going to be a strike issue, direction issue, or both. And so I want to just go through a couple of things that you should be looking at in trying to fix strike or direction. Okay, so let's start with fixing a strike issue. So a strike issue might be when you hit the ball fat or thin, or you top it. And in terms of correcting a golf swing, that's what you want to correct first. So we want to get you striking the ball well. Once we've got you striking the ball well, then we can start worrying about the direction a little bit more. Now, there's a number of reasons why you might be striking the ball incorrectly. And they stem to, the plane of your swing, the angle of your swing, where the bottom of your arc is in your swing. And we can oftentimes trace those issues back to your posture. So if you are having any kind of strike issue, then a really good place to start is by just examining your posture and making sure that your setup is good. So if you tend to top the ball or thin it, then one thing to check is that you have enough tilt from your hips. So just make sure that you are bending over sufficiently from your hips so that your spine is tilted over. And if the spine is tilted over the right amount, then your swing can have the right amount of up and down motion to it. Okay, so if when you set up, instead of tilting over, you're standing more upright, then that's one of the main causes of topping the ball or thinning it. So, it could be that instead of tilting from the hips, you're bending from the knees. So you want to make sure that you tilt from the hips, a slight flex of your knees, and by getting sufficient bend here, you're maximizing the chances of getting the club swinging on the right angle to reach the bottom of the ball. Now, the opposite of that is true too. So if your strike issue is that you're taking a lot of ground and you're hitting the ball fat, then, just check that you're not over the ball too much, because if you're over the ball too much, then that's going to get the club swinging up and down too much, which can hit the ground. And so sometimes just by, standing up a little bit more, you still want to make sure you've got some bend from the hips, but not exaggerate that. And that's going to help you eliminate that very steep swing that can get the club diving into the ground. So strike issues, first thing you want to look at is posture. And the second thing you're going to look at with a strike issue is the ball position. So if I make a good swing, then the bottom of my arc is going to be pretty much in the center of my feet here, in the center of my body. And so if the ball position is too far forward in my stance, then there's a good chance I'm going to catch the ball as the club is swinging upwards. So that's going to get you topping the ball. Or if the ball is too far back, then I'm going to catch the ball as the club is on its way down to the low part of my swing. And again, I can either top it that way or just kind of drive it down into the ground. So posture and ball position are two of the most common reasons why you may be having strike issues. And they're very simple things that you can check and make sure that they're not causing you the problems. So once you have the strike issue corrected, then we can worry about the direction. And the bottom line with the direction is that we've got to figure out what the club face is doing relative to the path that the club is swinging on. So the club face is going to have the most effect on the ball's direction. So we can do a lot with that just by one, checking your grip, making sure that the grip isn't in a weak position, which I'm a right-handed golfer. So for me, making sure that my hand isn't too much to the left, or making sure that my hand isn't too much to the right. So if it's too much to the left, if it's too much under this way, then that can cause me to slice the ball, because the impact the club is going to have a tendency to come back open. And if it's too much in the other direction, the club can have a tendency to close at impact and the ball can go left. So the grip is, one of the main things you can do to try and figure out any direction issues that you have. Now, if that doesn't solve it, then a nice, at least short-term fix for you is just thinking about what the club face is doing at impact. So if you're tending to miss the ball right, so for me, I'm a right-handed golfer, so slicing it or pushing it, then, we can assume that the club face at some point during the swing is delivering the club back to impact open. And so, just by thinking about what the club face is doing at impact, then we can straighten that out. So just feeling that the toe of the club is turning a little bit earlier, then that is going to help you with the direction. And conversely, if you're tending to hook the ball left, there may be reasons in your swing that promotes that, but at least in the short term, you can just work on, holding the club face open a little bit more to try and reduce the hook that you're getting. So we have strike and we have direction. And you may not get to the root cause of what's causing some of the issues that you have, but you can at least troubleshoot enough to, get your game playable until you resolve some of the underlying issues. I hope that's helpful. Check out some of our other videos and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.